One critical thing highly successful people do is organize their goals and write them down. Success doesn't just happen to you, it's created by you. If you are ready to create a roadmap to greater success, you may want to listen to what I'm about to say. We have developed an online success platform that offers 6 critical tools for creating and implementing your success plan. If you're ready to turbocharge your personal development and success in every area of your life, it's time for you to join Team Cody Dog by visiting codydog.com. That's CODIEDOG.com. Well, hello everyone. We're here today on the 5-Minute Bark, and we've got another amazing guest that I've found on Facebook. And you know, Facebook's been where I've gotten a lot of different guests that I've gotten on the show. And today's guest was sharing something special, and I reached out to her, and sure enough, she said, I would be delighted to be on the 5-Minute Bark. So today we have Dawn Watson here today, and we have traveled up to Irvine to be with her today, and we're going to introduce Dawn Watson, everybody. Say hello, Dawn. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great.
We're all set up finally, and we got all the cameras, and we got the audio all dialed in, and we're here having fun. Whew, that was a little challenging in itself. So, Dawn, we talked about something great that you wanted to share today, and it's something we actually haven't done on the 5-Minute Bark yet, and it was understanding and forgiveness, and we're going to talk about that here today, and we're going to have you share about that. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm really excited and actually very thankful to be able to be here and share a little bit about what is most important to me. And definitely forgiveness and understanding is a subject that is very close to my heart because it's been kind of my savior, what saved me throughout my life in many, many situations. And now as a coach and an inspirational speaker, and really it's something that I want to share with other people. And it's really about me and my story. And if I'm here today, it's all because of forgiveness and understanding. So I'm going to take you guys back to a little bit of where I came to understand this. You know, as a little girl, I grew up in a very tight and strict sect or cult. It was an American cult. And growing up there, I was raised up in a world where nothing was the way I wanted it to be. Everything was, you were here.
Very strict.
Yeah, everything is, you know, the world that you see is, you know, what you're going to have to do, and everything. You can't have your own dreams. You can't do your own things. You can't play with dollies. We were called the God's army. And so as small children, we were trained as an army, and we were trained to be what they wanted us to be. And so dreaming or doing what we wanted or just being children was something that we didn't have.
Wasn't an option.
Yeah, it wasn't an option at all. So growing up, I learned so much about God, and I learned so much about love, and all of our education was all based on the teachings of the Bible. Although the real teachings and what it really was all about, I never really understood because you know, they would tell us about forgiveness. And I remember so many times learning about forgiveness and saying, you know, no matter what people do to you, you must always forgive them. And that's a way that you please God. But to me, I never understood that concept of having to forgive people, even though they would hurt you and do terrible things to you as we were living in these communities. But therefore, having to look at them and always forgive them. And I think one day when I was watching a TV series of the Bible, and they were showing me the part where Jesus talks to the disciple about saying, look, it's not 7 times, but 70 times 7 that you have to forgive someone. And I remember doing the math and thinking, oh my God, that is a lot of times to forgive. And internally I thought, I can't do this. But you know what? I'm going to start putting on paper because...
You started adding them up?
Yeah, I started adding up. And I said, you know, I want, you know, to please God, because that's what I learned my whole life, that I was born to please God, and I had to please God, and I had to do everything He wanted me to do. But I wasn't introduced to a loving and peaceful God. And so many things that I went through, and daily aggressions and daily physical, mental abuses that we went through in this community. And I just kept on thinking to myself, okay, it's one more. It's one more. I have to forgive one more. And I just kept adding up until I started questioning myself. Was I really forgiving? Was it something that really came from the depth of my soul? And I started seeing that all those situations and all the people that I was supposedly forgiving, I really was just becoming a victim in the situation, feeling, okay, this person did this to me, and therefore, I'm the victim in the situation. Okay, I'll forgive them. But it was kind of like, yeah, I'll forgive you, but, I'm doing this because I'm better than you. And I have something you don't. That's why I have to forgive. I have to give you something that you don't have. And I'm going to give you that permission to be happy or to let go because, you did something bad to me. And therefore, I was always seeing myself as that victim.
It seems like almost like we have mechanical, like a life that like you were trained mechanically to do all these things. And now you came into life and the mechanics became real, right? You had to really truly be tested of a true forgiveness.
Yeah. And the thing was, because I had learned about forgiveness and I knew that to forgive in one level, in this physical level of how we think, how we operate, I knew that to forgive was to let go. And I was able to let go in a lot of situations, but I wasn't able, whenever the situation came back, those memories are still there. They're still alive.
Of course.
And sometimes they might not, you might not feel so much pain, but they're still there, and you don't understand why those things happen to you. And so I said, I really want to dig deeper and I want to understand the why. And so going through all of those situations, I kind of entered into another level of forgiveness that I call the soul level, which is the level of understanding. And then when I was able to go into the situations of the people that really deeply hurt me and not forgive them in a way of, okay, I'm letting you go, but understand what was behind their actions, right. What was behind their intentions, what was behind, what was the thoughts that, I didn't see, what was the deep intentions of the soul when they were doing those things to me. And it was so powerful because I felt their soul, and I felt that, under all of the things that they were doing physically, their soul was really understanding and was really going through a different process of knowing that everything that the other part of them, the physical part of them was doing, was serving the purpose of their soul in some way. And it was also serving the purpose of my soul in some way. And by understanding that concept that both souls were learning through that situation, and both souls needed to live those situations to be able to grow and learn about love.
Absolutely.
There was no need to forgive anymore. I just fell into a place of love
and understanding.
And I understood them, and I understood myself, and I understood that my soul was working the whole time for me, and that every situation that I was going through, everything in life, all the people that crossed my path, it was for the purpose and the purpose of the evolution of my soul. And when I entered into that space, I think so much love entered into my life towards myself and towards the people that had, one day hurt me and hurt one part of me. But the other part, which is our soul, which knows it all and is so connected to the divine and so full of love, and to the soul doesn't exist bad or evil. Everything is it's working together, and everything is part of a much greater plan. And so when I entered into that space, I think I really started to understand that if we're able to connect ourselves to the level of the soul and understand the other person and understand what they're going through and see beyond their actions, forgiveness is something that we don't even need to fight hard to achieve, or we don't need to, it's not mechanical anymore, because, religion, and we're taught so much, and forgiveness starts to become something that we need to do to please God. Therefore, it's not something authentic, it's not something real, it's not something that is that really means something to you. And so that's really one of the messages that I want to put out there, is so that people can really look into themselves and go through a personal journey of more than just forgiving. Try to enter into an understanding of, that goes beyond a situation or beyond what something did physically to you or emotionally, but more about the journey, and that everyone's in their journey and everyone's learning, and nothing in life is happening to you, but it's happening for you.
Exactly. What it kind of resonates with a lot of what I've been actually learning and teaching lately is there's energy between people there. And when you have a real true connection to talk to people and you understand them, you listen, it just comes to a whole new different way, right? You just kind of hear and understand them and feel their soul and talk to them and just love what you're doing. It's better than getting on a video game. It's better than doing anything, because because that's what we're on this earth for, is to actually truly like connect energy with each other. And a lot of us don't understand that. And it took me a long time. I'm actually understanding a lot of that this year myself. And so the whole understanding is understanding that you're opening up, right? Your whole life, you've been working on the mechanics of it. And now it's like, finally you were given the gift of understanding to open up. Like, thank God, right? Because a lot of people don't. They struggle with their whole entire life is struggling with, why did I have to go to church every day? Why did they tell me what to do? Why? And they're so busy in the why and not opening up. And you got the gift of opening up, and now you're sharing it with the world. That's just an amazing thing. Yeah.
And I think it's so important to be able to share with other people your experience and not be afraid to open up and to be real and to be sincere and to just be you and know and not worry about anything else. And I think that the whole process of becoming me was the journey within. And I think when you enter into that journey within, everything in your life, it's kind of like all the pieces of a puzzle starts coming together.
Right.
And then you see your life with different eyes, and you see your life through the light of love, and everything else is just, it doesn't mean anything else to you, all the memories, the things that happen to you, it really melts away when you're able to have that connection with yourself, with your soul, with forgiving yourself, with understanding yourself, and therefore forgiving and understanding others.
Question. When you're younger and you were in this boarding school or wherever you were, and you were constantly questioning, right? You said you were questioning, and the feeling of that versus the feeling of now, if you wanted to give some advice to somebody on how they could transition to that new feeling of love and openness and understanding, is there any advice you can give to somebody that's struggling with a similar situation?
Yeah, of course. It wasn't a boarding school. It was it was a cult.
A cult, okay.
A Christian cult.
Okay.
And yes, definitely one thing that I can say to people that are struggling with those things is really trust in yourself and trust in the love that lies within you, because you have everything you need within you to find light, to find the answers to your questions. And many times these struggles, I always thought they would be outside and somewhere else, and someone else had to say something to me, or in a guru or in a other person or in a church. But really everything that you need is really within you. And when you're able to enter into that personal journey and really search within, you're going to find the keys that's going to unlock everything. And it's going to really just unlock that abundant love for yourself and for others and for understanding. And so I would definitely say, spend time with yourself and get to know yourself and love yourself and forgive yourself and take the time for yourself.
It's it's kind of like a practice, I guess. You have to practice doing it. What were some of the first signs you felt like, oh my God, I can really trust like where I'm going with right now with my feelings? And because it's a big step, right? It's a huge step to just let it all go and just trust it all. Is there any specific moments or times or when you felt like that progress has been made?
Definitely in the most painful moments of my life.
The painful ones. Isn't it funny how pain is always the
yeah, people run away from pain. I was someone that always ran to it, because I knew that the more I felt it, the more I would find treasures within it. Yeah. And they would teach me, and they would help me grow, and they would push me
I would love for you to repeat
achieve
that to the
something
audience.
better.
I'd love you to repeat that to the audience because what you just said was very special. You found pain.
Yes. Through pain,
Watching.
through pain, I really found the most precious gifts. And through, that I never ran from it, but always to it. And it really is something that is so real to me. And people sometimes ask me, why do you do that? And because as society, we all, we learn to run away from pain. We don't want to feel that. We do anything to be able to numb those feelings and not have those situations or feelings. But to me, because I've been through so much pain in my life, I've really come to understand what it teaches us. And through that, I really went through that journey of finding myself, of understanding myself, of knowing that everything's going to be okay. Even if, things are terrible or going wrong, or, you're suffering, just that feeling of trusting God and trusting your essence and trusting that God is not someone out there that is, giving you, everything that you have to do or putting down the rules. But God is that
openness,
that, that soul, part of that soul that is within you, and, and it's guiding you. And
I always this is my own feeling. I don't know what the world thinks, but I've always thought there's two parts to me. There's that one that talks to myself, right? And that proves that there's an inner being me. Yeah. So I've always thought that, hey, I'm sure I'm on this earth, but I'm also guiding myself. So I consider that God in my own way. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it's like there's two me's. There's me that's experiencing and there's me that's guiding me. And it's an inside energy that you feel. And when you feel right or wrong, you feel things that comes from the inside, not the outside. Because the outside sometimes makes the wrong decisions or mostly does. But when you get the guidance going from the inside and you're trusting the guidance from the inside, it's just, the life changes. The whole experience changes. The whole momentum that in all the things you want to do changes. Right?
Yeah. Totally. And everyone has a different name for it.
Right.
And I respect how everyone sees it. I personally call it soul because of my experience. And it, for me, is just, my soul is just... it's a part of the divine. It's a part of God. It's the part that guided me my whole life. So I have so much love and respect for it. And now, nowadays, I'm only 27 years old, and I feel that I've lived a lifetime. But at the same time, I feel that
it's the beginning.
I am so, it's the beginning, and I'm so ready for anything that life brings on. Like, my heart is open, and bring it on. I'm here. When you find that peace, there's no more space for fear, or there's no more space to fear pain. You welcome it into your life because it's part of it, and it's what's teaching you every day. And
to hide and guide gets you nowhere, but to experience and challenge brings emotions on so many levels, and so it's such an exciting roller coaster ride for all of us. And I think I share that with you because I'm always looking for challenge and excitement and taking things to the absolute level. Yes. It's an addiction, and I enjoy it, but it's really special to just experience things like, you wake up, sure, we just like everybody else, we wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, this is so hard to deal with, and I want it to go the way, and then you snap out of it and you get right back in it. Your energy comes back and you just keep on fighting, and to say that, oh my God, because people look at me, they'll kind of look at me like, oh my God, you just make everything happen. It's like, it's not true. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of emotions you have to fight through to go through. And it seems like we share that kind of thing, that challenge. We like to take them on, right?
Yeah, for sure. And have that gratitude for for yourself, and be grateful that, look at yourself, look at everything you've gone through. And one thing that always helped me was, if I'm here today and I look back at everything that I went through, and I'm a winner, I'm an achiever. So if I went through everything, nothing that's going to come now, I can't do it, and just have that love and gratitude for yourself, and know that you have that strength that kept you alive until today. And it's not today that it's going to fail you. And, you have everything within to go out there and make your life outstanding and make your life beautiful, and live just in a beautiful state and full of gratitude for just being alive, and also gratitude for that beautiful part that lives within you you can be sure that will always guide you. And if you listen to it, it will lead you towards a beautiful life if you just let it lead you.
You just heard her. It just leads you to a beautiful life. And I can't say enough how true it is. I've interviewed over 100 people now, and a lot of what you're saying is what everybody else is saying. So something's right in that what you're saying. So
yes.
Guess what? We're already at over 20 minutes.
Oh.
I told you it'd be fast.
Yes.
You're like, wow. But if you have anything else you want to share, we can certainly extend it. But this has been amazing to be able to have the time with you here today and share. And I know there's a lot of stories you've done in the past that I've seen on Facebook, on your Facebook page, things are going on. You said you're coaching now and doing all that.
Yes.
Are you loving that?
I love it because for me, it's a way that I'm able to serve people with my story. And I feel that also nothing that we lived is for granted, and everything that you lived, you live it and you learn from it, and then your next part of it is to share it with other people and to teach it. And so therefore, I'm starting a project with young women to empower young women, and I feel that as women we are so amazing in so many levels, and we really need to understand that and come home to who we are. And I'm also publishing my book, which is called My Journey Home. And it really is all about coming home to your essence. And I know more than anyone how it is to be robbed from who you are. And, my whole childhood and my whole teenager years, I always felt that I was being taken away from who I was. And so I had a long journey towards coming back to my essence and coming back to who is Dawn, and owning who Dawn is and owning my story. And therefore, whenever you own who you are, there's power, and you'll be able to influence and help other people. And so my journey really is all about helping other people know that no matter what has happened to you, there's always a way to come back home. And I am so happy that I was able to live a lot of that and find that journey. And I can't wait to share with other people and help them find their way back home to their essence and to who they really are.
That's so awesome. I love the name.
Yes.
That's a really good. I've never really heard a name that's so appropriate, right?
Yes.
It's like, because your body is your home, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because it really doesn't matter where you are, it really matters that your home is within you, and you can be anywhere, and you don't have to worry, because you can always come back to yourself and to your home, and that's a safe place.
Awesome. I am sure we'll have Dawn on again, because I'm sure there's a lot more she wants to share about what's going to come in her life here. I see great things, and she sees great things too. So yes, we are done for today. And I want to thank you, Dawn, for letting me interview you here today. This has been so fun, so great. And I hope this was good for you. Yes, it was my pleasure. And listeners, I appreciate you guys listening, as I do all the time. You're all great out there. I love getting the messages I get every day, and just the great things that happen. And I just had somebody share one of the episodes to 20,000 people yesterday. So it's really exciting. Wow. So I thank you, the audience out there, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye, everybody. Bye. One critical thing highly successful people do is organize their goals and write them down. Success doesn't just happen to you, it's created by you. If you are ready to create a roadmap to greater success, you may want to listen to what I'm about to say. We have developed an online success platform that offers 6 critical tools for creating and implementing your success plan. If you're ready to turbocharge your personal development and success in every area of your life, it's time for you to join Team Cody Dog by visiting CodyDog.com. That's CODIEDOG.com.